asking me for a while to do a video on this topic. Now, you have some Israelites who say that Joseph was not the biological father of Christ. And then you
So this is the Bible before. This is the Bible of the one Westerners before. Uh, I guess the Divine Prospect, Sakari. I guess no. It's Divine Prospect is way before the Sakari. So I guess Divine Prospect helped resurrect this new thought. Just so Papias, and Eusebius, Saint Jerome. The Divine Prospect helped resurrect a new argument. But this dude popped it all off. This was 10 years ago. He popped it all off. So 10 years ago is before I even started debating it. Because I got involved 8 years ago. Eight to 9 years ago, I got involved. So this video was put together before I even got involved. As a matter of fact, I never seen this video. When I did my videos debating the virgin birth 9 years ago, I never seen this. So that lets you know that this was not popular. Look, it's only got 230. It only got 233,000 views in 10 years. That's bad. That's bad. That's very bad. What's that, like 200 views per year? Um, but anyway, don't get me lying with my math. But look, that's not the point. The point is, so this was not popular back in the day. It got popular throughout the course of time. All right. So here we go. Because I would have watched it and I would have already knew these arguments that they had.
because of the curse of Coniah. Now, Coniah at one time was the king of Judah. He was a wicked king, so the Most High pronounced a judgment upon him and his seed. Let's read it. Jeremiah 22 and 28. It says, "Is this man Coniah a despised broken idol? Is he a vessel wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into a land which they know not." Now, before we go on, it's important that we understand that Coniah is also called Jeconiah in the scriptures. This is a small write-up about Coniah, and you can see here that it says Coniah is an abbreviation of Jeconiah. Now, let's move on to the judgment that the Most High placed on Coniah and his seed. Jeremiah 22, verse 30. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, write ye this man."
Now, I think I did watch this a long time ago. I think he's the one that put me up on the Jeconiah curse. So I think I did watch this, but I didn't think it would be a big deal. I didn't, like, who knew this would be the blueprint for the one Westerners? I didn't know that much.
Powerless. Jeconias begot Salathiel, and Salathiel begot Zerubbabel. So here we see Jeconias or Coniah in the genealogy of Christ. Now, when you go down to verse 16, you see Joseph. It says, and Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahushua, who is called Christ. So this is the argument. If Coniah's seed line was cursed, and Joseph is a part of that line, how can Joseph be the biological father of Christ? Because that would make Christ part of a cursed line. So the way that people get around that is they say, well, Christ didn't have a biological father. He came through a virgin birth. So the curse of Coniah didn't affect him. That's the argument that people use who don't believe that Joseph is the biological father of Christ. So now that we understand that, let's go back to the judgment on Coniah and his seed and get some understanding. Jeremiah 22 and verse 30, it says, thus saith the Lord, write ye this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days. Here it is. For no man of his seed shall prosper. Now stop. What does it mean that none of his seed shall prosper?
No. For no man of his seed shall prosper. You know what it means. It means exactly how the one Westerners take it. They say seed, bloodline, seed line. You dig? Don't act stupid now.
How will they not prosper? It says, sitting upon the throne of David and ruling anymore in Judah. See, this is why we have to read things carefully. The curse on Coniah's seed was that they would not sit upon the throne of David and rule anymore in Judah. This curse does not apply to Christ at all.
It does. It does. Well, if you believe he's biologically the son of Joseph, it does. Because he would be Jeconiah's seed. I think that's where, see, brothers like this need to be on the call or the Zoom with us, so we can remind them what seed means, because they emphasize seed so emphatically, but now they forgot what seed means, or they forgot how they define what seed means. Brother, don't give me 1,000 years later, because according to Yah, Joseph is of that. Don't start saying seed now. Start saying bloodline. You know, they love saying bloodline. Brother, is Joseph of this bloodline of Jeconiah? He would have to say yes. Is Joseph the father of Jesus biologically? He'll say yes. Brother, that Jeconiah seed extends to Jesus no matter how you want to flip it, shake it, rub it down. Oh no.
Why? Because Christ never sat on the throne of David and ruled.
He can't. He's cursed, according to Yah.
So Joseph being his biological father doesn't change anything that the Most High said about Coniah and his seed.
Okay, I'm missing something here. According to Yah, one Westerners, doesn't seed mean bloodline? So that means that none of them, if they wanted to, you know, these other guys didn't try to because they understand that they can't. The Most High said, don't even try it. You know, when the Most High had removed Israel from the land, and if anybody tried to go there, he sent lions and bears on them. You dig? So you go ahead and try to rule it over Judah if you want, see what happens. The Most High gonna get you. So yeah, they knew not to even try. The kingship was also removed from them. When they were taken away to Babylon, first the Egyptians popped it off. The Pharaoh's Egyptian popped it off, and they were just tormenting and like colonizing Judah. But when King of Babylon got involved, that's when they like said, all right, enough of this, 20 rounds. Let's take Jeconiah away to prison, and everybody else, we're gonna just, demolish them. And yo, think about it. At that point, the king of Pharaoh was appointing kings in Judah, and they didn't care about no bloodline. And then the king of Babylon started appointing kings in Judah. They didn't care about no bloodline. They said, "Yeah, you king, step up." Now they were talking to like Judites, I believe, still, but they said, "Hey, we get to choose who are the kings now." Until ultimately, the king of Babylon said, "All right, let's all go."
See, Christ was born king of the Jews, but he didn't come into the world to sit upon the throne of David at that time. That's why he said things like this. This is,
brother, it doesn't mean at that time. He's I got speed. Brother. He couldn't if he wanted to, if he's the biological son of Joseph. You're missing that part. They're cursed.
John 18:36. It says, Yahushua answers, my kingdom is not of this world. See that? It says,
yeah, that's our argument, stupid.
If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. Look at this. But now is my kingdom not from hence. Meaning, this is not my time to sit upon the throne of David and rule.
Oh, really? So why was everybody call him the king and he okay, how are you a king if you don't have a throne? Okay, so when he was first born in Matthew chapter 2, they said, where is he, king of the Jews? Then, they put king of the Jews when they was about to crucify him, and then they asked him, like, are you the king of the Jews? And he, in very few words, basically said yes. So how is he the king with no kingdom and no throne?
I'll sit upon the throne in the kingdom of heaven. So Christ understood that. And David understood it also. David knew that Christ would not sit upon the throne until after he died and was resurrected. Let's prove it.
That's what the hell? That's what we were saying. That's what we were saying. Yo, so the one Westerners, they cherry picked this argument. He's a one Westerner. But what he's saying, that's what we were saying. All right.
Acts 2:29. It says, Acts 2:29.
Hey, I'm gonna use this as a reference point against these guys. I'm gonna use their own video as a reference point, their own biblical video as a reference point to them.
And was resurrected.
Hold on.
Let's prove the throne until after he died and was resurrected.
Uh-oh. How can two mortal parents give birth to a boy who just dies and be resurrected? Like, everything he's saying supports our argument. He came into the world miraculously. He did wonderful miracles, and then he died miraculously. Everything about him was literally a miracle. So he did miracles, he died miraculously, but he wasn't born miraculously. Like, that's just, like, dude, make it make sense.
Let's prove it. Acts 2:29. It says, men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulture is with us unto this day. Verse 30. Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that the Most High has sworn with an oath to him, that out of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he would raise up Christ to sit on his throne.
Right. So, meaning that Christ wouldn't be ruling Israel as a spirit. He will come in the flesh through Mary. All men are shaped, all men that are born are shaped in a woman's womb and then birth to take on human flesh and the temptations of man and the weakness of man. And Jesus did the same thing.
Now, when did David think this was going to happen? Verse 31, it says, he, seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of Christ.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So David knew that when Christ came the first time, he was not going to take the throne. Let's read it again. It says, he's seeing.
Yeah, that definitely supports us. It supports us. So what he's saying is that when Joseph sexually produced Christ, right, with Mary, with the help of Mary, that Christ, Jesus took on the cursed seed, the cursed bloodline. Therefore, disqualify him to sit on the throne of David. So he had to die and be cleansed through the resurrection. Now he's a worthy candidate to sit on the throne of David. That's how he's saying that's how Jesus was ultimately able to reverse the curse.
This before spake of the resurrection of Christ, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption.
Uh-oh. Hey. So if his flesh, hey, hold on now. Hold on now. If he was born of Joseph, who was born of Jeconiah, and their bloodline was cursed, my boy, that's corruption. That's corruption from the very start.
In other words, David knew that Christ was going to rise from the dead with all power and dominion, and then he would be able to sit upon the throne without violating the judgment on Coniah's seed.
Nah. Because if he came through Joseph, he's seen corruption. Because that line, that seed line, that bloodline, as they say, was corrupted. Okay? That what they say, that sperm line was corrupted. All right. So no. That's why these brothers need to be sitting across from me on a Zoom account. All right, give me a second. I'll play rescue. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right. So I might have somebody coming on. All right. All right, so let me get this ready in case this fool pop up. You don't catch me slipping. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna play a little more. So the guy, as you can see, has sense in his head. He's a little off, but he's better than his brethren. He's off, but he's better than his brethren. I'm gonna tell you straight up. He's better than his brethren. Um, so when brothers like him get on the call with us and he start denying what we got, then we know like he's purposely making himself retarded because we see that he got some sense. All right. There's one guy was on earlier. I mean, he was on before last week. Uh, Minister had fun with him. So now he's supposed to come back with me, and he's been dodging. He called me Minister. It was Minister. He had the solo. He had the feed with him. It wasn't me. So every so often I'll say something, and he was calling me the cheerleader. Like, hold on, you want me too? Like the movement, me too? I said okay. So I gave him that Jack and Knives that the brother just gave us. And my man was lost. All right, shut your mouth next time talking to me like that. But making. I'm gonna start making a genuine effort to be less forward. Okay, less like aggressive. I'm trying to. Well, you got to be aggressive with these guys, but I'm gonna try to be less insulting, if you could say. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be more, you know, mindful of how my words can offend people. So I'm gonna still be strong and talk over them if I have to, but I'm gonna be less calling people fools or things like that. Even though, man, a fool will bring it out of you, man. It's hard. A fool will bring it out of you. Yes. Why does it seem like a fool know what buttons to press? Somebody smart can't get you going for nothing. But a fool, they know exactly the code to your. They know the code to your tolerance. Yeah. Yep. Yep. No, no. Oh my God. Do that. Oh, man, what you was saying. Sorry. They're trying to spit in my hand. I ain't know what he was doing. He gonna spit in my damn iPad. All right. All right. I'll play the video. Give me a second.
Let me show you why. Jeremiah 22 and 30 tells you that Coniah's seed was cursed, but when you go up to verses 8 and 9, you find out why. Here it is. Verse 8, it says, "And many nations shall pass by this city, and they shall say every man to his neighbor, Wherefore have the Lord done this unto this great city?" In other words, why did the Most High allow Judah to be conquered? Why did he put Coniah in captivity under the Babylonians? Why did he curse his seed? Why did the Most High do all this? Here's the answer. Verse 9, it says, "Then shall they answer, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord their God, and worshipped other gods and served them." So the Most High cursed Coniah's seed because under his rulership, Judah was continually breaking the covenant of the Most High. That was the problem. So we see in Jeremiah chapter 22, they broke the covenant. But when you get to Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31, it says this, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." So after Coniah and the house of Judah broke the Most High's covenant, the Most High said the days were going to come when he was going to make a new covenant with the house of Judah. Now, if the Most High makes a new covenant with the house of Judah, what happens to the old covenant? Let's see. Hebrews 8 and 13. It says, "In that he saith a new covenant, he have made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away." In other words, the new covenant cancels out the old covenant. So all the sins and all the judgments from the old covenant will vanish away, including the curse on Coniah's seed. Watch. Jeremiah 31 and 33. It says, "But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel," meaning all 12 tribes. "After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their..."
I'm just trying to see where he's trying to go totally. All right, let's see where he's going totally. Oh boy.
"Inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people."
So let me hear him out all the way.
Verse 34. "And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord."
Oh yeah, Tone, I looked out for your comment. I never seen your comment, dude. I don't know which video you put it on, but let's see if it pops up now. Look, you're not in here at all, dude. See, you're not in here at all. I don't know when you commented, bro, but you're not in here. I haven't seen your comment.
Here it goes. Watch this. "For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more."
All right, let me see where you're going. Hold on, let me catch up. "And they shall teach no more every man's neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them." Okay.
This is talking about
Okay, no, wait, what is it talking about?
the kingdom of heaven.
I don't know, because Jesus Christ was born to save you from your sins. So if it's saying, "For I will forgive their iniquity and I will remember their sins no more," that sounds like what Jesus was doing when he told the woman that was found in adultery. He said, "Go and sin no more." Okay, he was really about that life. So now he's trying to make everything spiritual. And no, I don't know if all this is supposed to be spiritual, because Jesus did walk and he was healing people from their sinful positions, their sinful states.
Everything that happened under the old covenant will be forgotten, including the curse of Coniah. So when Christ comes back and sits on the throne in rulership.
Now hold on. Well, I mean, so what he's saying now, when Christ come back and sit in the rulership, I think that's when we'll be First Corinthians 15. We'll have our new bodies on, dude. Like none of us, all of us will be some type of spiritual being, like some resurrected face shining like Jesus and Moses being. I think all of us would be like that. So yes, all of us will already had conquered death. I think once you die and come back, of course, no curse applies to you. So the dude like kind of like all over the place in my mind. But let me look at Tone's comment. I'm gonna share it. Let me see. All right, so okay, this is a long video here. All right, let's see. Your answer was kind of like us. He acting like Israel. I don't know where your comments at, dude. It could be anywhere. This is a 2 hour, 36-minute video. Did Jesus ever call God anything other than a father? Or did he ever call or did God ever call Jesus? Yeah, that's a good point. Um, this mouth, man, it smells wow. Yeah. Trying to find your comment. They want to right. Ezekiel 23:20 blows the sperma thing out the water. Check that scripture. I bet you laugh. Yes. Okay, Ezekiel 23:20. Let's look at it. Ezekiel 23:20. Oh, what did he say? Ezekiel 23:20. So this is Ezekiel 23, we're at 20. Okay, for she doted up their paramours, whose flesh is as the flesh of asses, and who issue like the issue of horses. Is that where we Ezekiel 20? Yeah, 23. This is 23:20. Or did you mean 2020? I don't know. I don't know if that was it. Um, or did you mean 2023? You just double check. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Ezekiel 23:20. Um, what's still up there? Yeah, I don't know. Um, 23, I mean 23:2. I mean 23:10. Um, yeah, I don't know what 23:20 is saying. Let me look at 23:10 Deuteronomy. there be any man, that's great. Make sure I got it right. Deuteronomy 23:10. If there be any man, yeah, if there be among you any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness, that chanteth him by night, then shall he go abroad out of the camp, he shall not come within the camp. Yeah, so this got something to do with cleanliness, but maybe my brain is locked in on something else. I'm missing your tone. You got to educate me. Indigenous blackness. I'm using his talking points. Yeah, Tony, you got a timestamp. Yeah, and this is gonna take forever. You got a timestamp it, Tony. I don't know where you are. Like I don't know which comment. Like you made a bunch of comments. I don't know which one. You got timestamp it.
It will be justified because the curse of Kanaya will no longer exist.
Duh.
All the curses and all the judgments that came upon Israel under the old covenant will be gone. So Joseph, being Christ's father, does not violate the curse of Kanaya because Christ never sat upon the throne of David when he came under the old covenant. He won't take.
Oh, comment section. All right, let me see. Let me see. Okay, I see the comments. Hold on. Let me see. Nah, you ain't there. That's the that's the comments right there. Just me and Mimi. I told you.
That position until the new covenant is fully in place in the kingdom of heaven. I really hope y'all can see that. Now, the next thing I want to deal with is the title Only Begotten Son, because some people like to point out that Christ is referred to as the only begotten Son. For example, John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son."
All right, now watch this play on words with this guy. You want to talk about semantics? Oh boy.
So some people say we are sons also, but Christ is the only son that the Most High begot, which proves that Joseph was not his biological father. Now that sounds right, but
no, what proves Joseph is not the biological father is that during the birth of Christ, in the story of the birth of Christ, Joseph is not the biological father. I mean, why only in the woke community that you can pull that off? Like nowhere in a real platform you can, like this won't even be a debate. Hey, dude, are you serious? Like you're gonna read in the text that Joseph had sex with Mary? Like you're gonna just read? Anyway, show us, brother. Just play on words. And like who knows what dictionary he used, what Bible dictionary he used, but this doesn't, like I try to see if the Israelites can use this. It still doesn't work. Watch.
But the problem is this. That's not what only begotten means.
Oh boy.
Christ is the only begotten Son of the Most High, meaning he is the only one of his kind.
He's the only one of his kind. Now you hear this, right?
For example, Christ is the only Son who was with the Most High in the beginning. He's a special Son. He was chosen to be the Savior of the whole nation of Israel. That's what makes him the only begotten Son.
Okay, I guess you say it, so it's true.
He's one of a kind. That's what it means. Now let's look it up and prove it. This is
now we don't know. We got an A and B here. Now I looked it up myself. I don't even know what dictionary this is. Is this He swore it. Cause he's definitely not in Bible Hub or definitely not in. I'm sorry. I don't believe he's in Bible Hub, but he's definitely not in Blue Letter. Okay, so but we don't see the whole screen because when I looked at it myself, it had no like yeah. This is wild. All right, let me do on the fly. It's going to fly. Oh my God. This is why I tell people do not send me videos as scholarship unless it's the actual scholar talking. Do not, if y'all guys trying to send me a video to explain something, that person not a scholar, or that person needs to be like this. Like there's exceptions where you can send a video, but it cannot be for scholarship. Like let's say if you say, hey man, OJ said it out of his own mouth, then okay, show me the video. Then once he said, like, yeah, he did say it. Um, but for scholarship, don't send me a video unless it's the scholar talking. I want the entire video. You dig? Okay. Oh, he about to waste my time right here. John 3. Okay. Now let's go back to the screen. Now, okay, so all right. Manas. Ginamai. Ginomai. Okay. Yeah, Okay. All right, let's go. Only begotten. So you got mono Guinea. Mono Guinea. All right. This is mono Guinness. This is mono Guinea. Okay. Anyway, let's do it. Okay. So he looks up now. I'm not sure if there's a difference so far, but you see, this is a different word from this. Now, I don't know if it's just the word in a different, like let's say this might just be the nominative, and this could be like the dative. That means it won't really make any difference. It's just a difference of being an indirect object, direct object, genitive, or nominative subject. That's all. It won't change the word. But we don't really know unless we look it up because this is the word. This isn't. But we don't know if it's different or not because it can be. It could be a totally different word. I'm going to show you how that in one of the examples. Yep. Okay. Let's go. So let me just be clear that you see these inflected words right here. So this was the word in the passage. Oh shit! I thought I copied it. All right. Goddamn. All right. So this is the actual word. This is not necessarily the actual word, but let's see if it makes a difference. Okay. So the actual word. Let me go back. Okay. Niece. Okay, so I think the actual word is there. So we got niece here. So, but this is not the word. This is niece. But these are not the words in the scripture. This is. That's the word. And that word is right here. Okay, so we want to look how that word is used in context. All right, but anyway, let's do it. Only begotten, only child. Now we don't see that here. We don't see that here. We don't see only child. Okay, so then, but look what he uses also. See, which is not, see, it says outline of biblical uses. So these are the different ways you can use it. So it says single of its kind only, and it's tell you how that's used. It's used of only sons or daughters viewed in relation to their parents, or used of Christ denotes the only begotten Son of God. Just what it says. No, it's only kind. Yeah, but that has a definition. Okay, but this is how it's used. Okay, cool. Okay. This says only born soul. Like, why are we not looking at the definition? Only soul, only born soul. Okay. So now what he's going to do, see, only begotten used of only sons or daughters, same thing right up there, viewed in relation to their parents. Okay. So now watch. Okay. But let's see how it's used in other contexts. Okay. So it says, oh yeah, so this is what he's going to use right here. He's going to go here. 11:17. So at least he used it, right?
It's only begotten. And it's the Greek word monogenes. And it means, number one, single of its.
Actually, yeah, he's pressing this. You see how dumb he is? He's pressing this, and he think that this is the. So when he pressed this, it said the other word. Okay, it didn't say this word. There's no S here, my boy. But this is when you be faking like you know Greek.
Its kind. And it means, number one, single of its kind. Only. See? Only begotten means one of a kind. Christ is one of a kind because he is a special son,
Where does it say special son? Oh my God.
specifically chosen to redeem the whole nation.
So he's making it seem like he's a special son out of other sons being selected to do something important.
Of Israel. He's a one of a kind son. Now, watch this.
Well, who are the other sons that's begotten, or that's Christ's brothers, but he's a selected son? So when he was in the beginning, who was the other sons there? Oh my God. Who's it? What was the selection that he was chose from in the beginning? Because he's called the only begotten son since the beginning.
Letter A says, used of only sons or daughters, viewed in relation to their parents. So somebody will see this and say, see, this is talking about being an only child. However,
Yeah, it is.
this only child is talking about a specific child that is chosen and singled out from the other children for a.
All right, now he just made that up. It clearly, B is literally telling you that B is used different from A. A can be used of only sons or daughters. Only sons or only daughters view in relation to their parents. Still only. And B, when it's applied to Jesus Christ, it's applied this way. Use of Christ denotes the only begotten son. What are we doing here?
A purpose. Let's prove it. 1 Chronicles 1:28. It says, the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael. So we see that Abraham had two sons, Isaac and Ishmael. Now watch this. This is the Most High talking to Abraham. Genesis 22:2. It says, and he said, take now thy son, thine only son, Isaac. Now we just read that Abraham.
Okay, so now this is when they can manipulate you if you don't know Bible. So if you know the story between Abraham and Sarah, God told Abraham was going to give his inheritance to his servant because he said, God, I don't have any children to like pass my inheritance on. So he said, I'm going to just give it to my servant. That's not a biological son of mine. So then God stopped him and said, no, I told you that I'm going to give you your own son. Your own son. Relax. Be patient. Just keep doing what I direct you to do. Okay? And then Sarah was told the same thing. She had lack of faith. Then she did the most. She ended up going to her maid servant, Hagar, and said, here, you're going to produce, like God told Sarah to her face, you're going to be the mother of this begotten son I'm telling Abraham he's going to have, that I'm going to pass the inheritance to. And that begotten son, when he has kids, the inheritance is going to pass through his biological son. Okay? Not son, one son. Abraham had Isaac, Ishmael, other sons, but there was only one son. Okay, so now this is definition A. Cool. Now, Sarah gave him Hagar, and he ended up having Ishmael, and that was never the plan. This was lack of faith, and matter of fact, Ishmael became his own nation. Okay, so that wasn't in God's plan. God told Abraham and Sarah, you two gonna have a kid, and that son. So this was before You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this was before Ishmael ever happened. Before any kid, there was only one kid in mind. All right. So this guy, just keep that in mind.
Abraham had two sons, Isaac and Ishmael. But the Most High said Isaac was Abraham's only son. Why? Because Isaac was the chosen son, the special son, which made him one of a kind.
Dude, you're focused on Abraham. What about Isaac? I'm sorry, what about Sarah? The only begotten son was supposed to come through Sarah. Dude, you're blowing this. Sarah was told to her face that the child, the begotten son, the inheritance child, is going to come through her womb. Only, not you and Hagar. Okay? So, dude, you're blowing this really badly.
So the correct definition of only begotten son is a one-of-a-kind, special, chosen son.
Okay, and they love adding like extra stuff in there. One of a kind, special other son. So we're just gonna get rid of this definition right here. Or not even definition. We're gonna get rid of this. Oh, where we at? So let's go back. You know what? I wonder what this is gonna say. I'm just curious. Okay, all right. Yes, it's the same thing. That's the same word we just read in Latin. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, where were we? Get out of there. Let's click back in here. So we're going to act like, again, these are not definitions. These are biblical uses, how to use in the Bible. So it could be used this way, or it can be used this way. That's all it's telling you. It's telling you that it's being used different ways. Okay, single of its kind only kind, and this is the only kind, and this is the only kind. Okay, which one you think applies to Jesus? Which only kind? But only born. So it's interesting because he's called the only begotten son of Abraham. That's because it was a package deal. It was Abraham and Sarah, not Abraham and Hagar. So God didn't even acknowledge Ishmael as a biological son at all. Okay? Try again.
It has nothing to do with the actual amount of sons. That title depends on the purpose of the son. Here's more proof. Hebrews 11:17. It says, by faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac. And he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son. Now wait, why is Isaac being called Abraham's only begotten son? When we know that he had Ishmael too.
Just explain that. Because the son was supposed to come through Abraham and Sarah, not just Abraham. And this is why the whole seed line argument is done. There that go. The seed line argument is done because they're discrediting the womb. Abraham, what they call sperm. Abraham's sperm went into Sarah and Hagar, but evidently one sperm was more important than the other one, I guess, but they both his. I don't know how your sperm is different. So it wasn't the sperm by itself. It was the womb. So it was the right sperm with the right egg. That's why Meech kept saying, hey, what about the egg? It was the right sperm cells with the right egg, because those sperm cells with Hagar's egg, it didn't produce the only begotten son that was eligible for the inheritance and the promises. Get down. It was Sarah's eggs that was proper and qualified to meet with Abraham sperm cells to produce Isaac. So the womb, we keep saying, is equally important to the man's sperm cells. Okay.
Because Isaac was a special son. He was specifically chosen by the Most High for a specific purpose. What was that purpose? Verse 18, of whom it was said, in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So the purpose was for the chosen seed line to go through Isaac, not Ishmael.
All this is just babble. You know, he disregards Sarah's role completely, you know, but this is how to get people, you know, it works with the laymen, laywomen, I admit.
Because see, later on, Isaac is going to bring forth Jacob, who is the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why Isaac was called Abraham's only begotten son, because he was chosen for a purpose. So when you see that Christ is called the only begotten son of the Most High, it's not because he is the only son, it's because he is a special son chosen to fulfill a purpose that nobody else could fulfill, which was dying for the whole nation of Israel. That makes Christ the chief son, the ultimate son, a one-of-a-kind son, the only begotten son of the Most High. Okay, now let's deal with the actual birth of Christ. The first thing you have to understand is that when Gabriel comes to Mary in Luke chapter 1, that happened before the events in Matthew chapter 1. That's very important because when you look at Luke chapter 1, Mary is not pregnant when Gabriel leaves. Very important because when you look at Luke chapter 1, Mary is not pregnant when Gabriel leaves. But when you read Matthew,
hey, she is pregnant when Gabriel leaves. You see how they try to, yo, this is just disingenuous research. This is just terrible. Dude, say Mary is not pregnant when the angel Gabriel approaches her. You see how slick he is? He said when he leaves, she's not pregnant. What? Oh, yes, she is. She's not showing, but she's pregnant. She's definitely conceiving. So, but like they're so slick. Like dude just can't be honest. Yo, dude, just be honest. Just say when an angel came to Mary, she was not pregnant. Because you know, if you say when he left, she's not pregnant, like that's his assertion. Like he's projecting that and he knows people are going to disagree. But nobody's going to disagree if you just flat out say when the angel approached Mary, she was not pregnant. Like people are not going to agree right there. I mean, people will agree there. But he want to assert something that's debatable as though it's like undebatable.
Matthew chapter 1, Mary is pregnant. So that lets us know that the events in Luke chapter 1 happened before the events in Matthew chapter 1. So let's get some understanding. This is Luke 1:26. It says,
hold on. Yeah, now we know this part. I'm not going to bore y'all with this. Okay, so he's going to go into this. Let me just play this part.
Angel Gabriel was sent to Mary while she was espoused or...
He's going to go to the rabbinical argument on virgin. Alma doesn't mean virgin. Oh, my God. All right, go ahead, brother.
Promised to Joseph. Verse 28, it says, and the angel came in unto her and said, Hail, thou that art highly favored, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Verse 29, it says, and when she saw him, she was troubled at his saying, and cast in her mind what manner of salutation this should be. So when Mary heard this, she was wondering, how am I blessed? How am I favored among women? Now pay attention to what Gabriel says to Mary. Verse 30, it says, and the angel said unto her, Fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with the Most High. Verse 31, and behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahushua. So Gabriel told Mary that she was going to conceive and bring forth a son. Now she was not pregnant yet. It says, thou shalt conceive in thy womb.
Here he keeps saying, she's not pregnant yet. Like he keep, dude. No, that's not for kids.
Meaning at a later point, she would get pregnant.
No. I mean, well, that's true, but he's acting like later isn't 30 minutes later or 10 seconds later or 1 second later, or like why is later always 10 months later or 3 months later or 1,000 years later? Why isn't later just an hour later? Why can't later be the same day? Like right now. I can say, hey, everybody, I'm going live later tonight. Does that mean tomorrow? If I say, hey, guys, I'm logging off, I'll go live later. Do you guys take that to mean tomorrow or sometime after now? Like later doesn't mean tomorrow. When somebody say, hey, I'll call you back later. That does not mean tomorrow. Hey, I got it. Hey, look, put that down, lady. I'll help you out later. Hey, look, don't carry that bag, that garbage bag. I got you. Just hold tight. I'll help you out later. Does that mean next week? She's going to take that to mean, you know, a little bit longer. A little while longer. Like these guys insert. All right. So don't bite me. All right. So somehow the Zoom link. You know what? I gotta start a new Zoom link. Hold on. Wait. So I will come back to this, but we're not gonna leave from this. I'll come back from this. Be right back.